Tonight on Q2, bordering the baselines.
New netting is on the way to Dehler Park, hoping to prevent any more life-changing incidents.
I'm glad that they'll put up the nets because I don't want any other kids to end up like me.
Plus, into the fire.
And we're just getting like real world experience with it, all hands on.
Red Lodge students are putting in some real life emergency work.
A trip back home takes a devastating turn.
You cried. I mean, we both cried. There was really no tears left.
A Billings woman has her life changed forever after her vehicle rolled 7 times on the interstate.
The MTN 5:30 news starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 5:30 news.
Well, good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Russ Riesinger.
And I'm Andrea. Lutz, our top story, preventing more devastation on the diamond.
Yeah, new protective netting is heading for Dehler Park, extending all the way down the first and third base lines. The $340,000 project is welcome news for 2 fans who were recently hit in the head by foul balls.
As our Hannah Pettiferri reports, one of those fans will be dealing with the after effects for the rest of her life.
It just happened so fast.
Dawn Larimer was a regular at the Mustangs games, sitting in section 118 on the third baseline.
We're always very aware that balls can come into that area, and we're always paying attention.
But during a game in September of 2023, a foul ball came at her so fast, she and her husband couldn't stop it.
My husband put his hand up to kind of stop the velocity of it, and I mean, it was just like instant. I had no time to react.
After being struck in the head, she decided not to return for the remainder of the season. But she says once the netting goes up, she'll be back.
Definitely can still hear the crack of the ball on the bat and then her scream.
Erin Moots is describing what happened when her 8-year-old daughter, Serafina, was hit in the head by a ball during a game 3 years ago.
It's not something that you will ever forget in your life to see that happen in front of you.
She says her daughter suffered a contusion, a severe concussion, and doctors found bleeding in her brain. While they regularly attended games with her family, that ended after the accident.
He kind of gave up on games after that.
While most people are excited about this new netting, other fans still want to be able to catch a foul ball.
There's those who support it and those who, of course, don't want to be looking through a net. Those are valid concerns on both sides of it. Kind of what the industry's been moving towards is this netting that moves down all the way to the outfield wall.
That's because baseballs can travel upwards of 100 miles per hour.
I am just glad that they're doing it.
That's why these families support the new netting, which will replace the current netting and be extended down the first and third baselines at the park.
I'm glad that they'll put up the nets because I don't want any other kids to end up like me and have all this trauma from it. And
with the go-ahead from the city, fans can expect a safer way to experience America's pastime.
So as a fan, it's just a great, enjoyable experience.
In Billings, Hannah Pettiferri, MTN News.
Well, it's nearly perfect baseball weather outside this evening, but things will soon be changing.
They sure will. In fact, some snow may be on the way. With a first look at the weather, here's Chief Meteorologist Ed McIntosh.
On our map tonight, the bay shaded areas, periods of wind around the Fort Peck region, some of the valleys over into western Montana, travel concerns with snow in areas of west central and northwest Montana, and then the bluer shaded areas here through southern Montana. Winter storm watches into effect. We're expecting some decent accumulations in the Red Lodge foothills, the high elevations in the Beartooth, the Crazies, on over towards the Bighorns, the Pryor Mountains as well, down into the Cody foothills where you'll pick up some wind. Now this shows a chance of rain, and you'll notice that it starts to pick up tomorrow during the day. By Billings, we'll be looking at the chance of rain increasing during the afternoon, a 90% chance of rain and snow by early Thursday.
There's over 900 wildland firefighting positions open in Montana every summer. This year, there may be some younger recruits helping due to a new class that's happening in Red Lodge. Our Haley Monaco explains.
They look the part and active.
It's a great way to help out.
But these aren't your typical firefighters.
Those are students from here at Red Lodge High School, and 5 days a week they get to take a class that teaches them about firefighting.
We're just getting like real world experience with it, all hands on.
The students in this dual credit fire science class will leave with more than just a great experience. They'll also receive a wildland firefighting certificate.
We do have to cover the basics and then get out and get our hands dirty.
They're great teachers, great mentors, and it's just been a great time.
The class is a partnership with Red Lodge Fire Rescue, the high school, and MSU Billings, and it was made possible through a grant.
Montana's Future at Work grant is designed to provide a pathway for high school seniors when they graduate to receive a credential that will allow them to be employable immediately out of high school graduation.
And it's not just Red Lodge seniors who are benefiting. MSU Billings is also working with Lockwood and Columbus.
We're training the future generation, and I think that is super important.
Twins in the class, Macy and Calvin Garman, both plan to volunteer with the department after graduation.
Give back to the community that's given me so much.
Like this. It started out as just taking a class, and I think for all of us it's became a lot bigger than that.
In Red Lodge, Haley Monaco, MTN News.
President Donald Trump has granted Colstrip 2 years of relief from a Biden-era rule aimed at shutting down certain coal-fired plants. Colstrip is one of nearly 50 plants to receive that exemption under a proclamation signed last week by the president. That proclamation implemented a less stringent version of mercury and air toxic standards than were put into place by former President Joe Biden and the Environmental Protection Agency just a few years ago. According to Montana Governor Greg Gianforte, forcing Colstrip into early retirement would have cost Montana consumers an estimated $1.1 billion over the next 20 years. Nationwide, coal makes up 16% of U.S. electricity generation. But that number is much higher here in the Treasure State, right around 45%. The governor says in the coming weeks he'll launch an energy task force developing long-term solutions to ensure Montana has affordable and reliable energy well into the future.
MSU Billings' new College of Nursing facility is closer to becoming a reality tonight as crews continue construction on that building. The nearly $11 million campus will be located at 1040 North 29th Street in downtown Billings, right between both hospitals. And once complete, the MSU-owned building will feature modern classrooms, labs, and study areas. The cost is covered by a $101 million donation made by Mark and Robin Jones. And the work is set to be complete by next year.
A Billings addiction counselor is lucky to be alive tonight following a scary one-vehicle crash near Terry where her car rolled 7 times. 26-year-old Keely Milton was driving to Billings when her tire exploded, sending her into a whirlwind. Since then, she's continued to face struggles with doctors ultimately forced to amputate her left leg. But now, as our Charlie Kleps reports, the community, which she's helped for years, is rallying behind her.
Following her accident, Keely was life-flighted here to Intermountain Health St. Vincent Regional Hospital, where she's been trying to recover with her family by her side.
It was kind of a panic right out the gates.
It all happened fast.
I got an alert on my phone at 12:38.
We immediately tried to call to find out what that meant.
The alert on Peggy Milton's phone read that her daughter Keely had been involved in a serious crash in eastern Montana near Terry.
Our hearts just sunk.
A text that sent both her mother and father, Chris, into an emotional spiral.
Is she alive? You know, is she going to be okay?
The thought of it and the devastation of she might not be with us anymore.
The pictures are shocking. One of the tires on her car exploded, sending the vehicle into a rollover. Her parents say it rolled 7 times on the interstate.
She was in emergency surgery for close to 14 hours.
That surgery resulted in the loss of her left leg.
It was devastating to us. As a mother, when you give birth to a child, they're whole, and then, you know, here she's going to be without her leg.
To see her that way and who she is as not just as a person, but, you know, our daughter, you know, that's Daddy's baby girl.
Thankfully, the support has showed up in big ways. This GoFundMe page has already seen thousands of dollars in donations, in large part due to Keely's career as an addiction counselor at the Rimrock Foundation.
She's kind. She's going to put other people's needs before her own.
And it doesn't matter if it's her patients, or her clients, or just interpersonal life.
Ironically, now it's Keely that needs the help as she continues to live her life one day at a time.
I'm just thankful that she's alive.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.